daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Welcome everybody. It's a big, warm, family-friendly hug as we welcome you to the Daily Premier League podcast. It's Thursday, the 16th of October. My name's Ken Davis. His name there in the t-shirt is Nick Britton. And you may be wondering why I've asked you all to gather here in the drawing room. Well, it's to talk about the next tranche of games in the Premier League, the world's most competitive league. Nicholas Britton, how on earth are you doing?
I think I was quite excited there for a moment that I thought we were going to be ensconced in an Agatha Christie-style murder mystery.
We should do that.
In the drawing room.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm always happy to talk about football, so let's talk about football.
Ange Postecoglou killed with the candlestick in the ballroom by some Greek bloke.
Yeah. Well, that'll come after Chelsea.
In the kebab shop.
Yeah, that'll happen on Saturday.
Skewer. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a bit. So how in the Thomas Tuchel are you then, Nick? You feeling good?
Yeah, very well. I've had a good couple of days in Belfast working, so nice that. Great city. It's a great city, Belfast is.
It is.
Just got back this afternoon. And
true story, Nick, by the way. True story. I went to work in Belfast in the 80s, at the height of the Troubles. I was offered a gun. For self-protection.
By whom?
By a person unnamed. I said no. Imagine me walking around with a gun. Crazy. Anyway, there you go. Another story, that is. That's another podcast completely.
I think it is. I want to know a bit more. More. Who offered you the gun? Why? And why did you turn it down?
Well, because I think I'd be less safe with a gun. Anyway, firstly, because today we're really going to talk about the games that are coming up at the weekend. There's football again, Nick. There's Premier League football again. Yeah.
It's been a long international break, hasn't it? It seems to just get longer and longer and longer, these things.
They do. So we've got, by the way, we've quickly running through, and we've got, obviously, we've got 10 games. We've got Forest, Chelsea, Ange, who is now on a seat roughly as hot as the insides of a Pop-Tart if you've left it in the microwave for 10 minutes, I reckon. That's how hot his hot seat is.
I don't think you want to be eating a Pop-Tart that's been in the toaster for 10 minutes.
Exactly.
That is going to burn your mouth out.
That's going to sting, isn't it? We've got Brighton v Newcastle, the battle of the mid-table teams. Burnley against Leeds, the battle of the newly promoted. Palace v Bournemouth, the battle of the massively overachieving. Man City against Everton, part one of the Manchester-Liverpool double. Sunderland against Wolves. Are Wolves ever going to win a game? Though they've had a radical improvement in form, going from 4 straight defeats to 2 straight draws. Fulham v Arsenal. Arsenal top of the league. Nobody thought we'd ever say that. Spurs v Villa. Spurs pushing Arsenal all the way. Liverpool against Man United. Part 2 of the Manchester against Liverpool double acts this weekend. And finally, the big one, the great big one, that if Sky was doing dynamic pricing on Monday Night Football, they'd each pay us 55 quid to watch it. It's West Ham against Brentford. They're the games.
Very good. Anything catch your eye now? I don't know if anything does, to be honest with you. It doesn't sound like a very interesting round of games to me.
There's some good games, and we're going to go through them in a lot of detail. But before we do that, though, I know there's a couple of things caught your eye news-wise, which I think we need to bring to the attention of our listener.
Yeah, I think a couple of things. Firstly, I thought this had gone away. But on Saturday, on Friday and Sunday and Tuesday and Monday and whenever Premier League games are played in the next round of games, players will be given the opportunity to take the knee again. And I thought that had all stopped. And I know lots of teams have stopped doing it. I know the England women's national team, the Lionesses, stopped doing it after one of their players got racially abused in the summer. And I was quite surprised to see that this is back on the agenda. Because I don't really understand quite, in this day and age, in 2025, after everything that's happened in the last few years, quite what the point of it is, if I'm honest with you. I think it's an empty gesture. I think it's linked to a movement that has been widely discredited, and we all want to kick racism out of football, and we all want to do the right thing. I have no indication that taking the knee, and indeed other racially anti-racist groups, if you like Kick It Out and groups like that, they don't really even see the benefit of it. So I don't really know why it's being done. I don't really know what they expect it to achieve. But that's what we might see again. We're a throwback to the 2020s, early 2020s. But it's just, I mean, the world's moved on, society's moved on. It was all brought in a massive kind of rush, and it was a fad. And I was never convinced that it was done for the right reasons or done in the right way anyway. It was just done because everybody else was doing it. And football wanted to be seen to be joining in, or didn't want to be seen to be left out. I don't know quite what the reasons were. But anyway, we're going to see it again on Saturday. So we'll see players taking the knee on Saturday, and no doubt everybody will go, "Oh, that was very good. Thanks very much. Can we please get on with the game?"
Yeah, I kind of agree. Look, none of us wants to see a scrap of racism anywhere near football. We don't want to see that. But is this going to make any difference on that? I don't know. I suppose it does get us talking about race, and anything that gets us talking about race can't be a bad thing in relation to football. At the end of the day, a very huge, well, I think a significant.
We know, don't we? We know that racism is not a football issue.
No, we know racism is not a football issue. I agree with that, but it's a high-profile sport, and it's therefore, in the context of raising awareness, it's got a role to play in all these things. I think it does have a role to play in these things. I'm not sure taking the knee just feels a little bit 2022 to me. If they want to tackle this issue, do it in a fresh way. I don't think this is going to be something that people look at and think, oh, blimey, you know what? Maybe I should rethink my racist views based on the fact they're kneeling down. I don't think if they really seriously want to do that, this isn't the answer. So, I'm a bit confused as to why they've decided to reinstate this and bring this back, because I think people are actually, it's going to be counterproductive, is what I mean.
There's risk here, isn't there? There's risk in the current climate. In the current climate of society here in the UK, there is risk that actually it could spark a wave of negative reaction on social media, in the stands, at certain places across the country.
I think it will. It will.
That's just what we don't want.
Yeah, agree. I think it will. I think it runs a chance of being counterproductive. I think it would have been far better, I think, if they wanted to raise this issue again, to raise it in a different way, where people maybe look at these things in a fresh way. But I don't think this is the way to do it, and I'm surprised they've done it. Is it compulsory or is it optional?
No, it's optional. So you might see some doing it, some not. I don't know whether
it's crap, isn't it?
Well, it's just there's so many other things they can do, and so many other things clubs can do. They are limited, obviously, because by the very nature of racist chanting and that kind of thing, policing of it has to be reactive.
And we did see some of it this season, haven't we? We saw some of it in Liverpool, first game of the season against Bournemouth.
Anton Semenyo got racially abused at Liverpool, and they got the guy and they chucked him out. And I didn't actually hear what happened to him afterwards, but hopefully he's had a lifetime ban. And that's pretty much, apart from trying to educate people, apart from making stadium announcements, apart from, I would be looking for players and managers to be doing a bit more media on this, rather than taking a knee 2 seconds before kickoff. You can do things in the ground, and it just feels that the room hasn't been read well enough, I don't think. If you look at the room of modern society at the moment, and everything that's going on in politics, everything that's going on, and this isn't just the UK, it's elsewhere as well, it just feels like this isn't the wrong time to do the wrong thing.
Yeah, wouldn't disagree with that. And the second thing we were talking about off air before we started the episode was the Premier League looking to introduce a salary cap, which is a very interesting development.
Yes, this is very interesting. Now, I'm going to go away and do a bit more research on this, because the way it's been reported in various media outlets today, it can mean lots of different things. People are reporting it a different way. Some are reporting it as a kind of salary cap. Some are reporting it. Very good. Is that your salary cap? Is it?
It's
probably cost a month's salary just to buy it, did it?
A salary cap.
It's a celery caviar. Some people are saying it's going to replace PSR. Some are saying no, it won't replace PSR. It's just essentially the amount of money that you can spend on squads. So I'm going to have to dig down into this. But essentially, what we do know is that next month the Premier League teams will vote on whether to introduce further financial strictures, which will see them being able to only spend. It's called an anchor, top to bottom anchor. They can only spend 5 times on their football squad costs than the bottom club's earnings. So you look at what the bottom club earns in terms of revenue, in terms of broadcasting, all that kind of stuff, and the maximum any other club in the Premier League could spend is 5 times that amount. I don't really understand the point of it. I quite like a free market. There are concerns already being raised that it will damage the Premier League. We know that the Premier League is the most popular sporting export in the world. We know that the players love coming here because they get paid so much money. But by the fact they're coming here, creates a great league. What you don't want is to presumably try and strangle that and make teams on the continent who pay much lower wages a more attractive opposition. We want the best players playing in this country because it's the best league in the world. So do you really want Bayern Munich or Barcelona, these sorts of clubs that can't compete with, say, Manchester City or on wages, or Arsenal or Liverpool? Do you want them to be able to compete on wages? Or do you want to keep the best talent in the Premier League?
It's an interesting perspective. It's quite a parochial point of view in the sense that we are protecting our asset. Now, what it is really, and I look across the water here to the NFL, because the NFL have a similar system. And I think the Premier League looks at the NFL slightly enviously in certain aspects, and I will expand on that theory in a second. Essentially, what the NFL does, they have a salary cap, and it works extremely well, and it's extremely rigorously endorsed or enforced, I should say. And what it does, and what I think the Premier League is trying to do with this, is to equalise the competition. If you look at the winners of the Super Bowl over the course of the last 20 years, it's nearly every team, with a couple of exceptions, like this one.
Like your one, like your Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
Your hat.
Yeah. But it is essentially a competition where the worst can become the best in about 3 years. And there's 2 things that make that happen. 3 things that make that happen. Firstly, the draft. We don't have a draft in football, so the worst team gets the best players in the draft. The second thing is the salary cap, so no one can outspend anyone else. And the third thing is actually the fixtures. The worst teams get the easiest fixtures. That's the way they equalise. That's why it's an incredibly competitive thing, and lots of teams have a chance. I think the Premier League looks at that and thinks we could learn something from that, because we don't really have that. With very few exceptions, we have a relatively narrow concentration of teams that really can win it. And I think the Premier League look at that and say, actually, that's a weakness. So that is, I understand their reasoning. Their difference, which alludes to your point, is that the NFL in America is a monopoly. You're not going to go to the Mexican FL or the Canadian FL, though they both exist. But that's not the case with the Premier League. It's not a monopoly. The European leagues are close to being as competitive. So I think what this is this tension of the Premier League wanting to try and equalise the competition. And this is, if you like, another step, just like the rules are around how much money you can spend on transfers. This is another step along that equalisation process. But as you say, they've got to be very careful, because actually it might mean that our teams, in the context of the European competition, get progressively weaker. So that's my lesson for the day from the pulpit on that.
It's a very, very interesting point of view. And I think it absolutely has merit. It absolutely has merit. So we'll see where this goes. The vote's taking place on November the 21st. We know that two clubs, Manchester City and Manchester United, are already going to vote against it. So there's 18 to go. They need 14 to pass it. It'll be very interesting to see how the big clubs vote and whether there's any consistency in how they vote set against how the smaller clubs vote.
Yeah.
Is it going to be tactical voting? Is it going to be political voting? Or
But I've got a feeling it's a kind of a direction of travel we're going along. I think we'll see it recur and recur and recur until it gets through. Anyway, as we know in football, as Thomas Tuchel definitely knows, it pays to get your team selection right. Here at Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time, did we, selecting our delivery partner. And we chose Zencastr, because Zencastr makes it easy to bring your vision to life, share it with your audience wherever they may be. It's got 4K video recording, Nick. It's got easy AI editing tools, Nick. It's got distribution tools, and they're all in one place. You believe that?
Well, I do believe it because we use the system every single day.
If you've got a story to tell, like Nick did, tell it with Zencastr. Check the show notes for more details. Can you tell I'm excited about the up and coming football that's going to happen?
I'm just shaking my head. That's all I can do. I can just shake my head.
I'm going to play this.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
By the way, if you want to get in contact with us, and do it, because we're lonely. There's only me and Nick in DPL Towers. So send it over to dailypremierleaguepodcast@gmail.com. We'll read them with interest. Right, 10 games to get through. What I'm looking for, Nick, is the superb punditry that you offer us every day on each of these games, culminating in a decision as to whether it's going to be a home win, a draw, or an away victory. Firstly, it's what many people see as a crucial match for Ange. Forest against Chelsea.
I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to just stop you. Don't start this already. You've had 2 weeks to come to a slightly more no, put your pipe away. Don't get your pipe out and start sucking on it. You've had 2 weeks to come to a sensible point of view on this, which is my view, by the way, which is it is too early for Nottingham Forest to sack Ange Postecoglou. So if they lose against Chelsea, and they probably will, although you never know quite which Chelsea team are going to turn up, and we talked about the really, really, really big loss that Cole Palmer is. But Chelsea, you kind of still expect to win. I don't know. I kind of quite fancy Forest for this one. But even then, even if they lose, he will still be in a job. Okay? He will be given time. He'll be given time to get this right. Or more time to not get it right. But right here, right now, his job, I think, is safe. And you've got to start. I can't start every podcast with you going, Ange is going to get sacked tomorrow. Ange is going to get sacked.
We have remarkable foresight on these things, don't we?
Well, yeah, but I mean, look, it's the old stop clocks right twice a day, isn't it? So eventually, every day, you will be right.
Well, let's put you to the test. Do you think Ange will still be the manager of Nottingham Forest on January the 1st?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I don't think he will. So let's watch that space.
Right. So can we just stop talking about it till then?
Yeah. Well, until he gets sacked.
Until obviously it might happen. It might happen before. If it does, we'll talk about it. But no, I think he'll be, because I actually think Forest will get better.
Okay. And what do you reckon this game's result might be?
I think they've got a great chance. I think they'll take something out of this game. Will they win it? I think this might be it. Maybe this is the turning point. I don't know. I think the international break came at a really good time for both Ange Postecoglou and Forest, just to give everybody a bit of breathing space, a bit of downtime. Media spotlight sort of turns away, and hopefully he's had a chance to. I mean, I know obviously a lot of the players are away on international duty, but he's had a chance to.
Chris Wood got injured. Chris Wood limped off in the New Zealand game.
Yeah, but I'm not sure Chris Wood should be playing.
Yeah, he's not playing.
I don't think he suits the way Ange plays, and he's been missing chances left, right, and centre. I was very surprised he was in the team actually in the last game. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. They spent a lot of time and effort getting Igor Jesus over the line. It's about time he was given a run in the team. Let's see what we can do. So no, I don't. And Chelsea, yeah, there's a lot of sort of up and downs with Chelsea at the moment, isn't there? You never know. You never know which Chelsea is going to turn up. Is it going to be the Chelsea that turned up and beat Liverpool and was thrilling and it was exciting and played really, really well, or is it the team that turned up, before that and lost 3-1 at home to Brighton?
Well, I think they had a few injuries. I think the international break has probably come at a good time for them to get themselves straightened out. I think I'm looking forward to a Chelsea win.
Okay, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go home win.
Home win for Nick, away win for Ken.
It's going to have to happen sooner or later. He's going to have to win a game sooner or later.
Yeah, what'll happen if he doesn't? I wonder. Right, Brighton v Newcastle. Brighton had a decent run of form. Though just saved a point against the mighty Wolves last time. They were lucky to do that. Newcastle, they're developing a bit of momentum, I thought. Did the international break come at the wrong time for Newcastle?
No, I don't think so. It's just another... Because think about this. Voltemada went out and scored for Germany. Anthony Gordon went out and scored for England. They'll come back full of beans. It's another week where you don't have a game that they're missing. Johan Wissa, as he's trying to fight his way back to fitness, so that's good. They need time. No, I think it's fine. They're playing well. I mean, they lost to Arsenal, but it was close. They've won the last 2 games since then. One in the Champions League, one in the Premier League. They beat Forest quite comfortably. They'll give Brighton a good game. Should be a good game. This one. Two good sides, I think.
Yeah, difficult to beat at Brighton. Long way to travel from Newcastle. I know they're not on the bikes, but I mean it's a long way.
It's 2025. They'll get plane. Yeah. It's like a 45-minute plane journey. It's not a long way to travel. It's a long way to travel if you're a supporter.
Yeah.
But if you're a player, then it's not really very far, is it?
Probably not. What about jet lag though? You haven't factored in jet lag, have you? So what do you reckon is the result going to be?
I don't know. Hard one to call this. Hard one to call because you can see anything. You can see any of the 3 permutations are quite viable. So I can see Newcastle winning away. I can see Brighton winning at home. I can see it drawing. So I will. I'll go down the middle and go for a score draw.
Score draw. I'm going for a home victory. Burnley against Leeds. Burnley. I mean, they're on a poor run of form. They've got 1 point out of the last 15. But, Parker was interviewed and said it was, he's pretty optimistic. But the BBC are doing an interesting analysis at the moment about XG. And Burnley have the poorest defence if you look at XG in terms of the amount of XGs allowed, and the poorest attack in the sense of they're not creating many XGs, expected goals. Leeds have adapted well. They got real belief that they're going to be staying up. So 2 championship teams last year, tough games last year. How do you see this one going?
I think Leeds will win it. I'll go for an away win. I think they're hitting good form, and Burnley just haven't got enough in them. I don't think. I think what we'll see is Burnley they need to get points early on the board. That's what they've done, and they haven't really done that. If you look at the last 5 games, including the League Cup, lost to Liverpool, drew with Forest, lost to Cardiff, lost to Man City, lost to Aston Villa. Becomes a habit losing these games, and it becomes very, very difficult. And they don't have enough up top, so their only hope is to keep clean sheets, and they're not doing that. No. So their defence is both poor and porous.
Nicely done. Okay, so you're going for an away victory. I'm going for a draw. I think it's going to be a 0-0, actually. I think this one's got 0-0 written all over it.
It may well do. I mean, one of the reasons I'm going for a Leeds win is because I keep tipping them not to win and they win. Although I did tip them to lose against Tottenham and they did, but a couple of times, and they are playing better than I think they're playing better than they were at the start of the season. I think they're coming into form. So yeah, I expect them to it's a 1-0 or something like that.
Yeah, it'd be a low scoring game. Next one, Palace against Bournemouth. Right, two scintillating football teams. They really are great on the eye. Again, just going back to this XG thing, Man City right at the top in terms of creating excellent chances, high levels of XG. So are Palace. But of course, Bournemouth, Semenyo on fire. But Bournemouth are a lot more than just Semenyo. They're an outstanding football team, very well managed. This could be anything. I'm really looking forward to this game. Really looking forward to it. It's one of the highlight games, I think, of the weekend. How do you think
totally agree with you. It's two of the form teams in the division, two of the surprise packages of the division, and two teams that are playing great football. And they play really easy on the eye, good football if they turn up and play. So it could be a cracker. It could be a cracker. We hope it is.
And what do you reckon result-wise?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, again, it's just hard. One of the reasons it's so hard is because I keep getting these things wrong. So I'm sort of trying to second guess myself and almost decide what I think is the right one, and then sort of do the opposite. So
that rarely works, Nick.
And nothing works.
Now, having said that, actually, your actual predictions rarely work. So
exactly that. Palace will win. Home advantage.
Okay.
I think. Home advantage will see them get over the line here.
Okay, I'm going for a draw. By the way, in the first 4 games, we have disagreed on every single result. Man City against Everton. Obviously, Man City starting to hit some form. Top scorers in the Premier League, 15 goals in 7 games. Against Everton with a pretty solid defence. They've only conceded 7 in 7. But Man City at home, they've got the alien up front. They've got players, I just think they're full of attacking options. I can't see anything beyond a home victory, I'm afraid. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd agree. I'd like to think Everton will give them a good game. Everton are better this season. They ended Palace's very, very, very long unbeaten run last time out. But you can't see past Haaland. That's the problem.
You can't see past Haaland.
You just can't see past. I mean, you can't see past him. He's bloody massive. But it's just whilst he's in the team. But you know what? Burnley pushed them for a while, for an hour. Burnley were really in the game. And I wonder sometimes whether the Etihad is an easier place to play Man City than if you're playing them at home.
I agree with that. Yeah. That's an interesting point. Because it's quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet and there's so much expectation. Everybody's just sitting back going, right, come on, score 5 goals. And Everton are playing well. It might be a close game, this. I hope they can give them a close game. But I think ultimately Man City will win.
I see a 3-1, 2 late goals, that kind of thing. Seems typical Man City. Sunderland against Wolves. Now, Sunderland have had a pretty decent start. They've got a good defence. It's all built around a good defence, and they've got Xhaka in the middle of the park. Stubborn, they've got a fantastic goalkeeper. We've talked about him a number of times. We do rate him very highly. Wolves' season really depends on the next 2 games. A lot of it does. Sunderland away, Burnley at home. I mean, you've got to get 4 points out of that. Absolutely vital. And they are improving, as we talked about earlier. They are slightly more competitive.
They are, and they've come very close to winning. They haven't won a game this season. They played 7-0 wins, a couple of draws. But those draws, I mean, the one against Tottenham, they were 1-0 up, 94th, 95th minute. Tottenham equalised. They were seconds away from winning that game. Yeah. They are getting better.
Yeah, they are. And same against Brighton. I mean, they conceded late in that game against Brighton.
They did, yes, not as late, but late, late nonetheless.
In the 80-odd minutes. So they are improving. And I've just got a feeling. I was quite disappointed with Sunderland in the last game against Man United.
So was I. I expected. I put down a prediction. I thought they'd go to Old Trafford and win. I expected them to go out and play good football, but actually they were poor, and Man United played well.
Yeah, but I think he got his formation wrong. I think it's probably a little more solid. It's a place difficult place to go and win.
It's more straightforward for Sunderland, a home game against Wolves, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So, what are you going for?
Home win.
Home win. I'm not sure. I'm going to go for a draw.
I think Sunderland will be too good for them, but the Burnley game for Wolves is absolutely massive.
Massive. It is massive. It is massive. I just think Wolves, I don't think Sunderland score many. And if Wolves can get an early goal, I think he'll get something out of that game. Right. Fulham Arsenal. Fulham always difficult to beat at home. Arsenal are starting to look like the best team in the league. They do look like the best team in the league, not starting to look like it. They've just got an array of talent and they seem to be clicking. Can you see anything but an Arsenal victory?
No.
Fair enough. That was a short one.
No, I think they'll be just too good for Fulham. I just don't see any way Fulham are going to get anything out of this game.
Yeah, I think you could well be right. Now, Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq because they are, I should add, the world's most personalised supplements because your body is unique. And because without knowing what deficiencies you have, if you take off-the-shelf supplements, you might be getting not enough of the nutrients you need. You may be getting way too many of the ones you don't need, Nick. You don't want that. So, Bioniq provides 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs. So, if you want to optimize your health, click on the link in the show notes. You can use the code GSPN 2025. You'll get a 40% discount off your first order.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Okay. 31 minutes.
When I was in Belfast last night, by the way, last night, I had some very nice Guinness. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. It's a really old cliche. But the Guinness always tastes nice, whether you're Northern Ireland or Southern Republic. Guinness always tastes nicer.
Okay.
And when I was drinking it last night, it felt like it was full of nutrients. Talking about nutrients, it felt like my Guinness was full of nutrients. Yeah, it didn't this morning when I woke up.
Yeah, I know. I bet your body was unique when you woke up.
But
I bet it was. You need a 40% discount.
It's very
right.
Nice.
Okay, we should get more than 40%. Should we be running this? Anyway, so that was Saturday. There were the 7 games on Saturday. There's 2 games on Sunday, and there's 1 game on Monday. The first game on Sunday, Spurs v Villa. I think this is a really good test for both teams. And this is another low-key, interesting game of the weekend, I think. Because I don't believe Spurs, really. I don't believe
them. What when they?
I don't believe it's like Santa Claus. I don't believe they exist. No, I do believe they exist, but I don't believe they're a top 6 team. I don't.
Why not? On the basis that the table has them in what position? Yeah. What position are they in the table?
6th,
3rd. So you're trying to tell me that the Premier League lies?
I'm saying it's a very small sample size. And I think when all the shakeout is done, when we look at this in 20 games in, I don't think they'll be in 3rd. I think Villa are on a bit of a roll. I think, though, coming back to the point we made about Newcastle, did the international break come at the wrong time for Villa? Because they've got this momentum going and they're starting to look like a team. But I think it's a great test for both teams. And I think I've got a feeling Villa are going to beat them.
Do you?
Yes.
Interesting.
I think Villa has suddenly found their mojo.
I don't think Villa score enough goals yet. That's the problem they've got. I mean, obviously they didn't score any goals for ages, did they? So I suppose you could argue they're a little upturned form. But they've only scored, 6 goals all season. And
but they didn't score any for the first 5 games or whatever.
Yeah, but it doesn't just. They are getting better. I don't think they're going to be good enough to beat Tottenham. Again, Tottenham, you're just not quite sure what they're going to do, how they're going to.
They can do Spursy things, can't they?
Yeah. They're quite difficult
lose 3-0
to predict. But no, I don't. I'm not going to agree with you when it comes. I don't think Villa are going to win. I think Tottenham are going to win.
Fair enough. Big game, obviously. Liverpool, Man United used to be.
Well, it used to be a good game. It used to be a big game. Now it's between two
sides
who aren't doing very well.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to this.
I don't think I am too. There's better games going on this weekend.
I am. I really am, because I want to find out what. I still don't know who Liverpool are yet. I thought they were champions elect after 4 games, then realised after 7 games, they're Burnley elect, and so I can't quite make my mind up about Liverpool. And every game Liverpool play, I find interesting, because I think we learn more about them, and we learn more about the weaknesses. Obviously, United had a good performance, all okay against a badly set out Sunderland team, but they looked full of beans. So I think this has got all the makings of a bit of a classic. I think there'll be loads of goals. So
I think you're talking this up a bit too much, to be honest.
No. I think it's going to be a classic for all the wrong reasons.
Manchester United have never won 2 games on the trot under Ruben Amorim. No, obviously ever under Ruben Amorim. You fool. And so, why would they suddenly start doing it now?
They're going to do it one day, aren't they? They've got to do it one day. He's not going to have his whole career at Man United. He's never won 2 games on the bounce.
Well, they might do, because he might be out before Ange.
Ange hasn't even had 1 win on the bounce.
Yeah, look, I'm not convinced this is going to be a good game at all. I think it's going to be 2 teams that feel like they have to win the game. Manchester United have to win the game because they haven't won 2 games on a trot. Liverpool's form is faltering, so I think it could be quite a cagey affair, because knowing that you have to win a game normally starts with knowing that you can't lose it. And if you know that you just cannot lose it, it tends to lead to kind of cagey performances. A bit.
I don't think Liverpool do.
Nobody.
I don't think Liverpool can do cagey.
No, but they can do not very good.
They can do not very good, but that's their normal game. Just not.
We've been talking about the international break, and has it suited players? Has it not? Well, Alexander Isak's gone away with Sweden and played a couple of games and still hasn't scored a goal. So it's not done him any good. Might help his fitness a bit. He's been playing 90 minutes, but it'll help his fitness. But that's pretty much it. I don't know if he's going to play tomorrow. On Sunday.
I wouldn't play him personally.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't start him. No, I wouldn't.
You start Ekitike.
So it'll be 1-1.
You going for a draw?
Yeah, it'll be 1-1.
Yeah, I mean the draw is a sensible choice, but I don't feel I want to go the same as you. I need to be more decisive than that. Who's going to win? Liverpool and Man United. You know what? I'm going to go for a Man United victory. Yeah, you've got a real down on Liverpool, haven't you? Yeah, generally, I mean, you've got a real down on them. You just don't. I think they've weakened significantly over summer, and I just think that they're not a team at the moment. I think it's going back to the Arne Slot thing. I mean, they do feel like a team in transition, and they shouldn't do. Yeah, they are. Well, no. Well, why shouldn't they? Well, why shouldn't they? Because they brought in 5. Yeah, but so is every team. Players. So is every team. No, they haven't. No, I don't know. I disagree with you. I think they are. I think they are a team in transition. Why shouldn't they be? When they brought in... Because they ran away with the Premier League last year and then went and spent £250 million on topping up the talent pool. No, they didn't just top up the talent pool, did they? Because they've replaced a lot of players who have left. So they've rejigged their entire... their front line looks nothing like it's done the last 2 years. So they've let Darwin Núñez go. They've let Ruben Diaz go. Diego Jota, we know what happened tragically. They've had to. They've redone their front line. They've brought in XCK. They brought in Isak. They brought in Florian Wirtz. So Mo Salah is the only player who plays in that entire front four of Liverpool who's there last season. So Trent Alexander-Arnold willingly he chose to leave, so he needed replacing. And Andy Robertson is getting on in age. He's had a brilliant career. He's a very good player, but he's getting on in age. So still playing every week. Well, he isn't, but I don't know. No, I personally would. Oh, so you would play? Yeah, I would probably have him in the team at the moment because I think Kirkus is having a nightmare. So I disagree with the fact that all they've done is top the talent pool up. I don't think they have. I think they've
they've actively gone into a period of transition. But the problem is that hasn't been that narrative hasn't been played out at all. And they start the season so well, they won lots of games. So everybody just assumed kind of what you assume, which is, oh, well, they're just topping it up and it's going to be a seamless transition. It doesn't really work like that. It's great if it does, but it doesn't really work like that. So I think Liverpool are in a transitionary period at the moment. Now, we don't know how long that transitionary period is going to last. It might last 3 weeks. It might last 3 months. We just don't know. Sooner or later, the majority of those good players, maybe not all, but the majority of them will start doing what they've been brought in to do. Might be too late by then. We don't know. But I think it's wrong to suggest that this is just a continuation of last season and they've gone backwards. I just think that's that's just the wrong way.
They have gone backwards. No one can disagree that they've not gone backwards.
No, but the reasons you're saying that they've gone backwards are wrong. Because you're trying to make out that they had all this brilliant team last year, and they've just brought in more players on top of that, and therefore how could they possibly be worse? But that's not the reality of what's happened, is it? No, it isn't. If you want to look like that, that's not what's happened.
That's not what's happened. And what I'm saying is, it should have been different. It should have had a different outcome.
Why?
And the fact it hasn't.
Why should it have had a different outcome? What outcome should it have had?
Because you've got that talent pool, you've added to it to the tune of £250 million, and a bit more change on top of that. I don't think the fact that they've suffered this, particularly in defence, they've suffered this loss of form. I don't think we should give them a free pass and say, well, it's all right, it's part of the transition.
No, nobody's giving them a free pass. Nobody's giving them a free pass at all. But I just don't see how it was ever going to be. It would have taken an extraordinary set of circumstances for them to just carry on winning the way they did. And it was clear, the signs were there from the very first start of the season, very first game of the season, and then subsequent games where they were just nicking goals deep into injury time. The signs were there then. And I think
I agree the signs were there then. And in fact, that's part of my narrative in the sense of, they're clearly a much worse team than they were at the end of last season. I'm interested to know why that is. Anyway, let's move on to the last game. West Ham against Brentford. Two teams we both had as being down there in the bottom regions of the league. And guess what? They are 19th and 16th. What do you reckon? What do you reckon is going to be the outcome of that particular match?
Nothing interesting.
Nothing.
Because West Ham will just be going into Nuno mode now, which is just quite solid in defence. But they don't really have any, other than Jared Bowen, who I love, by the way. And Jared Bowen's a brilliant player. I don't know. I just never understood why he's still playing at West Ham. Other than him, they don't really have a lot of attacking flair. Players who can play on the counter. I mean, Paquetá's been starting to play a bit better, but Nuno essentially Nuno's first job is to stop West Ham losing. So he'll start what he always does. He'll start at the back. He'll make them quite difficult to break down, and then you're up against Brentford, who have shown that they're not as poor as perhaps we thought they were going to be. And Thiago's actually had he's playing well at the moment. So if this is 0-0, it wouldn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form. I think I'll probably just stick with a draw.
A draw.
Because although West Ham have got a new manager, what they haven't got is 11 new players.
No, they haven't, and they're weak. They are clearly weak, and they've had an issue, I think, in terms of squad strengthening. I believe in Nuno. I'm going for a home win, narrow, squeaky. Bowen winner in the 76th minute, 1-0 to the Hammers. But you're right. I don't think it's going to be something that we're going to be playing on YouTube over and over again for the rest of the season. Won't go down as a classic. But there we go. So interesting. So we don't agree on many. We only agree on Man City winning at home against Everton, Arsenal winning away at Fulham. The rest, we're odds on. We're at loggerheads, Nick, on the rest of it. Been at loggerheads throughout this bloody podcast. Anyway, it makes it an interesting listen. Right. So that is the Daily Premier League podcast for today, Thursday, the 16th of October. I hope you enjoyed that. as much as we have. Have you had your tea yet, Nick?
No, not yet. No.
No, I can tell. Right, nor have I.
No, it's not that. But I just take exception to when you talk rubbish.
No, you know, you just need some shepherd's pie inside you. What is for tea, by the way?
I've no idea. Because I've been doing
Shepherd's
this podcast, and I'm going to go out and
I smell the mint and onions from here. Anyway,
see what's going on.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. That's been fun. If you want to, as I said earlier, subscribe, tell your friends about it, leave us a comment, as long as it's nice, and send us an email to dailypremierleaguepodcast@gmail.com. That's it. We are about, in a couple of hours' time, I hope Nick's in a better mood, we're going to be doing the Road to World Cup 26, aren't we, Nick?
I'm very excited about that. It's been brilliant. The last couple of weeks have been throwing up some fantastic qualifiers. England obviously qualified, became the first European club to qualify after beating the mighty Latvia on the back of beating the mighty somebody else. Was that Wales? That was just a friendly. They would have beaten anyway. So well done, England. And we've loads of teams qualified. Loads of teams.
Eight qualifications in the course of the last 2 weeks. So it's fascinating. So if you're interested in the World Cup, make sure you join us on Road to World Cup 26. We've now got 28 teams of the 48 qualified, and we go through them every week. So it's going to be an interesting thing to do. But that's it for the Daily Premier League podcast. Thanks for joining us. It's been absolutely our pleasure to bring this to you. 46 minutes. I think you'll agree. Pulitzer Prize winning punditry.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Bye-bye, everybody.